What's up, Naturalistas? This is your girl, Shalon. Thanks for tuning in to my channel. If you're new here, again, my name is Shalon, and this video is going to be a late night self-love talk. So if you're interested, keep watching, guys. Yeah, it is like 9 o'clock at night at home. I have my t-shirt on. I washed my face. I'm actually gonna just put a face mask on while I talk a little bit with you guys. It's not a sponsored video. I just like to make sure that I do face masks on myself at least twice a week to try to help with my skin regimen. But anyways, so I wanted to get on here and I wanted to talk with you guys about what's been going on through my self-love journey. So my hope of sitting here talking with you guys, being on YouTube, is mostly for myself. So it's important for me to kind of have like a diary to talk about what I'm going through the steps of me learning to love myself and to heal. So that's kind of what this is, because, eventually I want to be able to help others who struggle with the same things. But anyways, so my lips are looking kind of crusty. So what brought me to this journey, or what made me feel like it was time to heal, was really recognizing that I needed healing. It won't open. Hold on, guys. Yeah, so it was recognizing that I needed healing. So for me, knowing that I needed healing was I guess like not really being satisfied ever, like not really finding happiness in any situation. And that kind of goes hand in hand with like anxiety and depression, but just realizing that like, what it really was? Like going places and fearing seeing certain people, like exes or friends or situations that didn't really leave off on good terms. So for me, it was more of that, having anger towards certain people, like even family members, just realizing that, every time that they spoke to me and I responded back, I had such I was just angry inside, mad, hurt, angry, just nothing positive. So that was also something that, that I noticed. I got very emotional about certain situations. I'm supposed to be putting this face mask on. I got emotional about certain situations. Another thing was that I was blaming anxiety and depression. Now, if you don't know, like you're new to my channel, I like how this smells. If you don't know, maybe you're new to my channel, but I'm an open book. Like I said, this whole purpose is for me to be as transparent as possible so that it could be not only helpful to others, but solely myself. So, me blaming a lot of things on, my mental awareness, my mental health. And not to say that anxiety and depression didn't play a role in my emotions, but I needed to learn how to control those emotions. So, right now, that's the process and the step that I'm in. I'm trying to learn how to control my emotions. Okay, anyways, let's back up. Sorry. Oops. Let's back up. So yeah, I had to recognize that I needed healing, right? And then I had to accept that I needed healing. And that's a whole nother ball game, because it's like, okay, it was like I had to mentally prepare myself for the journey that was about to start, because I was gonna have to really be accepting. And that's not something that has been easy for me, being acceptant of the things that are going on in my life. So I had to accept that, that I needed healing. I need a little bit, sorry. So, I had to accept that I needed healing. And then I started to like try to find ways to heal, because I wasn't sure what that looked like. I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out what that means. How do I get to this point? So I know for myself, like a self-reliever is like working out. So I was doing like yoga, working out at home, doing some like at home exercises. I was writing, reading, finding, just other avenues and ways, for myself to try to heal. But when I did that, like halfway through all of this, because I haven't been consistent with any of the ways that I've been trying to heal. Like right now is a struggle with like learning how to balance the things in my life, and also learning to be consistent with whatever I'm choosing in my life. So those two things have been really hard. So with that being said, like I can't really say whether things are helping, certain what is the word? I can't say whether or not yoga was helping. I mean, I guess I can, but like to a full extent. It's better to understand when you're doing something consistently. I do know that yoga was really fun, but anyways, what I'm trying to say is that I forgot to address what specific things that I needed healing from. So I knew that I needed healing, and I knew that I had a lot of hurt going on, and I knew that I needed some spiritual guidance, and I knew that I needed some alone time for myself, but I couldn't figure out, okay, but why? Like, what things are you running from? What things worry you and scare you at night? And it's, to the point where I'm overthinking so much that I don't even know what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but it's like my mind is overflowed. I'm constantly, worried or stressed or having anxiety about certain things. So it's hard for me to really focus. But beside the fact, so I realized that, okay, I need to know what I'm being hurt by, what I'm being, brought out of character by. What are my triggers? What is making me not want to go places or not be around certain people or feel like I'm alone, or that I don't love myself, or those things. So what I did was I wrote myself a list. Of, and maybe some of you had seen, I didn't write the list, but I had like, the title of what I was writing on my Instagram. But anyways, so I wrote a list of the things that hurt me, bother me, that I need to let go, move on from, forgive, those things. And that helped. That helped me understand, because it helps me in this situation. So if I'm speaking to someone that I have anger toward, I can remind myself, like, this is something that you're trying to heal from. Remember, like, this is someone that you're trying to forgive. So react different, respond differently, take a deep breath, think before you speak. It's easier said than done. Some days are so much harder than others. Like today was, for myself, not an easy day. And usually when it's not an easy day for myself, I stay home. I do, like, if I can't go out and exercise, if I can't do something to relieve my mind, I stay home and I write, I listen to music, I rest, I sleep, I pull myself together. So that's what this day was for me. But, yeah, like those are important. Those days are important. What was I saying? yeah, so I wrote a list of all the things that hurt me or that I need to move on from, let go, that sort of thing. And that was a good step to take. It was a great step to take. And now, although I have more clarity on what I need healing with, I still feel alone, lonely. Like, although I am not, that's how I feel inside. This self-love is, it's not easy. I guess not easy because, you know, trying to heal and then incorporating anxiety and depression and the use of not using medications and trying to find alternatives to having a healthy state of mind. Like, it's just not easy. So there are days where I'm just tapped out. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm not on my phone much. It's hard because I am a natural hairstylist, so I need to be on my phone to promote my work, to engage with my clients and things like that. So it's been difficult on that part because I have, thought about taking a break from social media numerous times. It's not something that I'm looking into at the moment, but it's definitely something that I have taken into consideration. But with all that being said, like, it's hard to describe. Like, I'm healing and I'm hurting at the same time. Like, being someone who didn't accept change for so long, or who had a hard time accepting anything, like, anything that wasn't in my hands, I had a hard time accepting. Like, whether or not my boyfriend broke up with me, whether or not someone decided to still be my friend or not, whether I had a job or not, whatever it was, like, I took it into my own hands to completely worry about it instead of just letting it be. I mean, people say that you shouldn't stress about the things that you have no control over. Man, but when you have negative thoughts running through your mind constantly and you aren't even uplifting yourself, it's just, you're not accepting anything. And I can say for the first 27 years of my life, I did not know how to accept change. I did not know how to accept when things happen in my life. I've had a hard time forgiving others. I've had a hard time letting people be, and associated with that is being controlling. Like, I never meant to be controlling, but if you can't accept the way things are, what do you think you're doing? I mean, the opposite of accepting to me is controlling. Like, you're gonna try to make things be the way that you want them to be. And so I didn't like that characteristic within myself. So now it's like, I am a kind person and I want that to show. I have a big heart and I want that to show. I've always been helpful, but not to myself. And so for me right now is a selfish moment, like, to be selfish and to engage with myself, engage with my son more, to be a great mother, and to really just be selfish with my time, with me, because no one else has me. Period. Like, no one else is gonna have you. Like, you have to have yourself. You have to uplift yourself. You have to look in the mirror and tell yourself you're beautiful. You have to tell yourself good things. Talk aloud. I talk to myself all the time. So I was talking with a friend and she was just kind of giving me some advice about how to help overcome some of my anxiety. And she was saying that you can, talk to yourself. And I was like, oh, that's not a problem. I can talk to myself all day. But it's not easy. And I never thought that it would be easy to heal, but I didn't think it would be this difficult either. There's lots of crying and lots of moments of, like, praying and meditating for myself. Plenty of moments where I don't want to be bothered. And then there's times where it's like, I need someone around. And I don't know. I just have to keep reminding myself that this is a process. and it's okay for me to be alone. I have my son. I'm not alone, but when I say alone, I mean, you know, not really having many friends or not being in a relationship. That's kind of what I mean. But it's okay. So I just keep reminding myself, and I just hope that somewhere in the near future that I'm able to overcome the things that I had a hard time accepting, or the things that I had a hard time letting go, because the burden is too heavy. And if I can give any advice from where I'm standing, is just to find help and to learn to let go. There's different ways to do that. I'm still figuring it out for myself, but I know that there's other people who probably feel how I do. And I just wanted to share with you guys. I honestly need to go ahead and rinse my face mask off, and thank you guys for listening. And if you guys have any tips, any advice, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear anything that you guys have to say, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.